Happy afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be here in Ramakrishna Ashram, Rajkot. And I have to thank and pray my salutations to Swami Nikhilashananda Maharaj, for calling me for addressing some of the best minds of India. My dear friends, in fact, my introduction, or otherwise the introduction of Swamiji came to me when I was young. I come from a farming community where we are a very hard-working community, deprived of highest level of knowledge. My parents gave me the best of the education, brought me to a school which is guided by the principle of Swami Vivekananda. First time when I entered the school premises, I could able to see the feet of Swamiji in my school. That is how I got introduced to Swami Vivekananda. In fact, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose used to say, a great revolutionary and a freedom fighter, if Swami Vivekananda would have been alive, I would be at his feet. I also got introduced to Swami Vivekananda only through his feet. And that's how I got the highest level of knowledge today, and I'm able to claim up the platforms coming from a farming community in one of the corners of Tamil Nadu. My dear friends, this conference, Indian Ethos for Modern Management, is clearly an indication today to the entire world that management is not a concept from the West, but management is driven by the philosophy. The highest level of philosophy in the world came from Asia. And in Asia, the guiding light was India. And in India, the champion who guided the philosophy, modernizing and making this ageless, is Swami Vivekananda. You need not learn Upanishad. You need not go through Bhagavad Gita. You don't need to know the Rig Veda or Yajur Veda. If you read Swami Vivekananda's principle as the principle of Swami Vivekananda, who has got this message around the world, you will understand the entire philosophy of Hinduism. And the entire philosophy of Hinduism is management of the self, management of the family, management of the organization. All your ancient literatures is simply directed towards these three ideas of the humanity. When you direct yourself, when you direct your family, and when you direct an organization, then the entire humanity progresses. In fact, whenever I travel, many people ask me, when I ask people, what is your idea of India? Not many people will be able to say, even Indians. So I used to introduce Swamiji with a small book of the Swamiji's Call to the Nation. And when I give that, and then later when I go and ask, what is the idea of India? Then they clearly say it is Swami Vivekananda, which is the idea of India. And not only many people get inspired, before I get into the management philosophies, please understand, Subhash Chandra Bose, Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Barack Obama, Selvi Jayalalitha, CM of our Tamil Nadu, Balagangadhar Tilak, Rabindranath Sister Nivedita, Max Muller, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee was inspired by Shri Ramakrishna Paramsa himself, and lot of revolutionaries, including Rockefeller in America and Nikola Tesla in America, and including our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, who actually wanted to join as a monk in Ramakrishna Ashram in Rajkot. And today is managing the entire country. All these personalities whom I mentioned managed different things in life, and their management came as a philosophy only because of the ideas given by Swami Vivekananda. I'm not going to touch about the ideas, all the frameworks and ideas given by Swami Vivekananda. I'm going to introduce 4 to 3 philosophies which will guide you, your family, and your organization at large. And when you go through the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, all the lectures Swami Vivekananda gave is not merely a lecture or a speech. All these are frameworks of management. Whether it is a lecture of power of the mind, or it is a lecture on Hinduism, or it is whether a lecture on skill development. He has even given ideas on skill development. In fact, Swami Vivekananda also has given ideas on industrialization. So Swami Vivekananda is just not a spiritual giant. He is an Indian at heart and global in spirit, who went on to give the ideas of India to the entire world. My dear friends, before we know what Swamiji has given to the world, understand the organization he inspired itself is a great organization for management professionals like us to look at and research. That is Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission. My dear friends, 1,800 plus monks is my understanding who has dedicated their life, including brahmacharis. I'm not sure how many people, but my understanding is 1,800 plus monks have dedicated their life for building this organization and serving the humanity, my dear friends. And that is a kind of an organization Swamiji inspired. Today we are not even able to manage 10 people organization. Today we are not even able to manage a family. Husband and wife are not able to manage themselves. And that is a kind of an institution Swami Vivekananda has created. He has inspired the entire generation, and he brought not only science renaissance, he also brought the management renaissance. Let me tell you why Swami Vivekananda is more relevant for Indians and people around the world. India is filled with a lot of problems, not only now, during the British period also. When Swamiji was actually going around the country, he went to Varanasi, Ayodhya, Lucknow, Agra, Vrindavan, Rishikesh, Baroda, Tamil Nadu, Rameshwaram. He has visited more than 33 places in India by walk, my dear friends, by walk. And who will know the problem of the country, problem of the humanity better than Swami Vivekananda? By developing this empathy for the poor people, by knowing the opportunities and problems of India, he went on to create the frameworks of speeches in West and in India. So his speeches are ageless. It is just not modern management that we are going to have. All these philosophies, what he has given is ageless and it is eternal. In fact, Swami Ranganathananda, the 13th president of Ramakrishna Mutt, as used to say, all the ideas of the Holy Trio are eternal, and it is just not modern, it is just not ageless, it is eternal and forever. And that is the kind of philosophy we have. And please understand, for the management of the self, why management of the self is important. Today, organization is the collective force of individual. But what is happening in the individual is more often our education system brought by Lord Macaulay. I am indicating that name. Our education system that you are presently undergoing, whether it is a school education or higher education or even IAS, administrative services, these are all brought by the frameworks of the British. Please understand, if the Britishers have brought the education system, it was not to make you a leader, but to make you a slave and a worker for the Britisher. It was Swami Vivekananda who identified this. And he clearly said, education is the manifestation of the perfection already within. That means, he actually said, please pursue your passion. He actually said, please take up ideas and ideals. For that, he gave 4 philosophies. What are the 4 philosophies? He said, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the absolute. 2, Tattvamasi, that is, I am that. Amartasya Putraha, that is, children of immortality. For what? Vasudeva Kudumbakam, that is, the world is one family. And finally, anything and everything, you end with Om mantra. That is Shanti mantra. That shows the global peace. My dear friends, these are the 4 philosophies that should guide you. And for that, Swamiji not only gave all these Mahavakyas around the world, but he gave 4 technologies also to bring this self-management. What are the 4 technology? The 4 technology is nothing but Karma Yoga, 2, Bhakti Yoga, 3, Jnana Yoga, and he summarized and brought the essence of the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra as Raja Yoga. What is the Karma Yoga? The work you do. What is 2? Bhakti, that is Bhakti Yoga. It is a devotion you have on the work and the life you are given as an opportunity. What is Jnana Yoga? The knowledge that you acquire to have that work and the Bhakti. And what is Raja Yoga? Raja Yoga is for the purpose of Viveka and Vairagya. What is Viveka and Vairagya? And Viveka is nothing but taking up the higher ideals and leaving the lower ideas. And Viveka and Vairagya is a tool available through meditation. Most of the time, when I talk to the youngsters, they say when I go to the meditation, I actually remember all my mistakes, what I have done. I said that itself is a great thing. Meditation is an opportunity to remember mistakes, and then Viveka and Vairagya you apply and throw the mistakes or the sins you have done in the dustbin and move away. That is an essential idea of Raja Yoga, where through 4 technologies you integrate body, mind and intellect. Body, mind and intellect. In fact, I call those people or people dead in the class when I address the students. If body is present here and mind and intellect doesn't work. Most of the time you are here now, you had a very good lunch. All the students are looking forward for 3:30 or whatever, 6 o'clock or 5:30. When can I go home? What mom has cooked? These are the ideas that is running in your mind. Actually, body is here. Mind and intellect is not here. The four technologies make sure that body, mind and intellect get spirited. My dear friends, for what you should integrate body, mind and intellect? Now I am coming to the idea and the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. You have to integrate body. You have to. There is no option. You have to integrate the body, mind and intellect towards social good, towards the society at large. Whenever I talk about the society and serving the society and service, many of them often mistake that I'm trying to make everybody a sadhu. That is not the idea. The idea is body, mind and intellect integration for the social good is nothing but you become a contributor. You become a contributor. Now, most of the time, an organization fails, or a career fails, or a family life fails because we don't contribute where we are. We have to become a contributor. More the work you contribute, more the passion you have, because the idea of body, mind, intellect is to know who you are, what am I. If you know that, you identify the passion. When you identify the passion and make that as your career, then automatically passion and career goes together. Ultimately, you become a contributor. Most of the times, when you are in 35, 40, many people actually become frustrated in their life. They keep on saying, this is not what I should have done in my life. At least my kids should do something useful. But you don't know how to do it, but you don't know what is the way forward. You are also putting the kid into the same school and he is also undergoing. Basically, you lack self-management, also family management, and for that the basic reason is we have not understood the Hindu philosophies through Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda's idea is not conditioning an individual. Please understand, Swami Vivekananda's idea is not a conditional management of a self or a family or organization. Swami Vivekananda's idea is to uncondition an individual, to identify the potential and say you are divine. Swami Vivekananda said everybody is potentially divine. And that's how he said, arise awake. He did not say, arise awake for the people who are sleeping. That is tamastic. Yes or no? And he said, arise awake to awaken the spirit, awaken the passion within, so that you become a contributor in the entire idea of, in the building of organization. In fact, I would have visited nearly 700 to 800 institutions in my lifetime in the past 10 years. And every month I used to go for at least 10 to 15 institutions. And whenever I enter an institution, my eyes will see around whether there is a photograph of Swami Vivekananda. My dear friends, 90% of the institution in this country, whether they have associated with Ramakrishna Mutt or not, they have a photograph of Swami Vivekananda. Whenever I go to the administrators, education institution, whenever I go to the administrators, IAS officers, I actually look around to see whether there is a photograph of Swami Vivekananda, and I find one, at least in the 90% of the administrators in the country. 3, whenever I actually go to an organization which is actually building lasting organization, some of the organizations which are living more than 30 years or 40 years, and when I ask them, which school did you study? They will either should have studied in our mission school, or they would have come across Swamiji's philosophy and quotation. At least 2 words will be there in a room. Arise awake. That means the entire management of successful organization in our country are guided by the principles of Holy Trio and Swami Vivekananda, my dear friends. This is the understanding you should reach. So the modern philosophies, people may claim it is from the Western world. In fact, I went and searched what are these Western people talking about. Whether it is a blue ocean strategy or finding out the purpose why or the infinite power book. You look at, there is one book called Infinite Power, written by Simon Sinek. And when I read through it, I found these are all the ideas what Swamiji has already given, where he has taken the Indian knowledge system and mapped that to the contemporary knowledge system, and he has made that book more relevant today in the title called Infinite Power. It was Swami Vivekananda in the West who said, you are infinite. And that one word he has taken and coined the book, my dear friends. Awake the giant within is one of the motivational speaker in America who speaks around the world. And where is that awake word came? It came from the Mahavakyas given by Swami Vivekananda from our Upanishad. And arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached. My dear friends, you should understand, most of the ideas in the Western world did not emerge from the Western world, but the roots emerged from India, and most of them picked up that word, they worked on it. Most of them, we see Swami Vivekananda word was only a word. No, it has a spirit, it has a message, it has an experience. So when you read the ideas of Swami Vivekananda in different stages of life, if I read the Swami Vivekananda's call to the nation when I'm young and when I'm in school, it means something to me. When I actually go to a college and read it, it means something to me. When I run an organization, it means different thing to me. When I actually become an educationalist, it means something to me. So Swamiji's idea, same ideas mean different things. That is the reason I said it is not only an ageless management technique, but also an eternal management technique, which is already modernized by Swamiji in those times. My dear friends, let me give you three case studies and try to close the session. Swami Vivekananda was sitting in America. There was a great industrialist called Rockefeller. And Rockefeller met Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was sitting and writing in the desk. And they had some conversation. And Swami Vivekananda said, you should actually become the trustee of the wealth what you have. My dear friends, Swami Vivekananda said, you should become a trustee of the wealth what you have. Swami Vivekananda never said, do not earn. Please understand, in the entire philosophy, he never said, you should not earn, you should renunciate and go back to Himalayas. In fact, he said, you should go and serve when you renunciate. In fact, he said, a beggar cannot renunciate. A beggar cannot renunciate. You have to achieve something and then you have to renunciate. This philosophy of trusteeship went into the mind of Rockefeller. It went into the mind of Rockefeller, and then Rockefeller became one of the greatest philanthropists in America. Looking at this model, Tatas were inspired. Recently, I read the book called Doodles on Leadership by Gopalakrishnan. Was one of the high official of Tata who is now retired and is writing books about the leadership. In his book, one of the ideas is trusteeship, which Tata itself has brought as an idea inspired by the words of Swami Vivekananda, and he has mentioned in that book, including Mahatma Gandhi's idea of trusteeship came from Swami Vivekananda, because Swami Vivekananda had a great influence on Mahatma Gandhi also. My dear friends, so the idea that we have to accumulate lot of wealth around the world. It is our responsibility to attract abundance, but we should not be the owner of the wealth. We should become the trustee of the wealth so that it gets distributed for the upliftment of the country. Did I not tell you that you should integrate your body, mind and intellect towards social good? If you have money, if you have an organization, try to uplift the humanity through healthcare, education, solving the problems of the women, and that should be the way you should do it. In fact, most of the industrialists today in India are now in the philanthropic mode, even though they have earned a lot. This precisely the idea of Swami Vivekananda is today guiding the entire industrialist and their management of their philanthropic organization. 2. Swami Vivekananda was a great philosopher even for educational ideas. When Swami Vivekananda met Tata, and Tata was doing an extremely great business. At that point of time, he was trotting around the world. And you would have met many management graduates around the West, I'm sure. But listen, when he was in Japan, he met Swami Vivekananda. And Swami Vivekananda said, we need to have a research institution in India in science. This one philosophy entered into the mind of Tata. And Tata tracked all the ideas of Swami Vivekananda and finally established Indian Institute of Science in the ideas and philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. They also went on to establish Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Tata Institute of Social Sciences. The spark what Swami Vivekananda created has made sure that there is a some of the best educational institution was flourished in the country through a proper management. And these are the 2 case studies you should get inspired. Beyond this, the third case study which I wanted to talk to you before I conclude. Swami Vivekananda said, education is not merely an accumulation of information. He said it is an assimilation of idea. Unfortunately, today when you go through a lot, Macaulay's education system, the system that we have today is only creating clerks and workers without even thinking. And when you go to a MNC organization or any organization, some of the organizations don't allow you to blossom. They put you into a process-oriented job, and you don't actually explore your life. What Swamiji says as the purpose of education is assimilation of idea. He says if a person is highly educated, if he says the message of the idea of Swami Vivekananda is, if a person is, if I call someone highly educated, provided he has assimilated at least 5 ideas in his life. And he also goes and says in another quotation, take up one idea, make that idea your life. So this is the idea that Swamiji has given even to the students, and unfortunately the students only aim at marks today, and they only look at that extra marks, or the coaching centers they go to produce mark. They have become a mark vending machine today. And if these mark vending machine students are taken into the organization, they are only functioning like a machine, and they don't know how to have an interaction within the organization. I draw your attention, today in 21st century, the organization doesn't want the people who actually work. The World Economic Forum in the Future of Jobs report in 2016, it clearly indicates 10 skill areas. First is complex problem solving. 2, critical thinking. 3, creativity. 4, people management. 5, coordinating with others. Then 6, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation. And 9, negotiation. And 10, cognitive flexibility. I assure you, if you keep coming to Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission and Ashram, and you observe, you need not even do service organization until you realize. And you do little bit of service work also. You will realize your inner potential. All these 10 skills will automatically come if you are oriented towards a spiritual organization like Ramakrishna Mutt, Mission and Ashram. My dear friends, this is what World Economic Forum is talking about as top 10 skills of 21st century, which was already brought as an essence of message by Swami Vivekananda in 19th century. So that is the idea. And not only that, Swami Vivekananda clearly said, skill is very, very important. He says in 5.314, reference in the complete works, he clearly says, if I get an unmarried man, I'll send them to Japan, get them skill education, bring them back to India, make sure they open industries, factories and workshops, produce products and send that products to Europe, earn profit, and it doesn't stop with that. He says, distribute that profit in the country. So that was the idea which was Swamiji gave. It is the same idea which was also given by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in his complete works. In Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose complete works, it was the guiding factor of Subhash Chandra Bose also to go to Japan and then Asianize the entire thoughts in different countries. And that's how he brought the freedom movement also in India. And Swami Vivekananda is a great economist, and economic management ideas can also be brought from Swami Vivekananda's life and from his speeches. Swami Vivekananda says, let new India arise out of the peasant's cottage, grasping the plough, out of the huts of the fisherman, the cobbler, the sweeper, from the hills and mountains. So he clearly said, if all these people are not uplifted, in essence, the country will suffer. That was his message by giving this quotation. By today, the government is guided by the principle of New India. The entire New India management is by the government, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is actually guided by this quotation. So Swami Vivekananda not only guides the self, not only guides the family, not only guides the organization, the ideas of Swami Vivekananda is also the new light which is guiding the country's development, my dear friends. I can tell you, I can map each and every idea of development of the country today to the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. I have done that. Whether it is Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana or Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or Mudra, I can connect to the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, which I have already done to the governance leaders. That is the impact Swamiji has created to the entire humanity, my dear friends. Not even Barack Obama is an exception, and he has quoted Swami Vivekananda in United Nations, saying he is the greatest Hindu monk. Swami Vivekananda came to America. And even Indonesian presidents, were all following Swami Vivekananda in developing educational ideas and educational institution and their management in Indonesia. Even though they belong to a different religion, but Swamiji's ideas are not confined to a particular religion. It was universal religion. In fact, the secularism itself is protected by the idea of Hinduism provided by Swami Vivekananda. Secularism is protected in the country, around the world, because of the idea provided by Swami Vivekananda from the Hinduism. That means Hinduism has protected the secularism around the world. My dear friends, this is the kind of a management ideas that has come from Swami Vivekananda himself. Let me tell you the 4 quotation and then tell you the essence and complete the session. The 4 quotation of Swami Vivekananda is, each soul is potentially divine. You believe you are divine. That's very, very important. 2, he said, stand up and fight. It is not physical fight. He said, stand up from your tamas and then become rajastic and then minus selfishness. Please understand, Swamiji never said you become sattvic in the work. I hope you can understand. Sattvic you are reading. Swamiji said, you from your tamas, the essence of the message is rajas minus selfishness. Because Swamiji said, you may meditate on anything, but I will meditate on the lion's heart. Because Swamiji believed on the courage of an individual, and he wanted every student and every person in this country to pursue the courage to create difference in the society. And then he said, he also said, you are the creator of your own destiny. That means feeling and realizing one's aspiration and possibility. And finally, the quotation 4 is nothing but, they alone live who live for others. And he said it because the entire essence of the humanity is to live for others. But unfortunately, in the modern management techniques that are emerging from Western world, it is all about technology. We need urgently to completely rehumanize the business. If you see in the organization, nobody is interacting. They keep sending the mail. They keep WhatsApping. And they don't even interact with their family members. Today, children are suffering in the family. The people are not able to manage their family. And today, as somebody has to turn themselves and humanize the family or individual himself or the society at large, the ideas of Swamiji alone can bring this management ideas. Rehumanizing management ideas is only there in the ideas of Swami Vivekananda. Rehumanizing is the modern management technique that we badly need, which only India can show the light to the entire world, because India is all about protecting the humanity and humanitarian approach. My dear friends, this is the conclusive idea which I wanted to bring in. The Indian ethos for modern management is nothing but rehumanizing the entire business, entire community, entire family and individual to his consciousness. This is the idea which I wanted to bring in, and please go through the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda not merely as a lecture, but as a solution to your life and your family and your organization and the country at large. And I'm sure you will transform the world at large with your spirit and your identity. Thanks a lot.